I prodded you to tell your parents about the baby, but you wanted to wait. And I respected that. I let you take the lead. I was patient. But now I'm stuck between your guilt and your mother's fury, and it's getting more than a little frustrating not to be able to do a damn thing about any of it. Fury. That was an interesting choice of word. I don't know that I'd exactly call her furious. She's upset, not to mention she's recovering. Oh, she's absolutely furious. About it all. That her perfect party was spoiled, that she can't pretend anymore that you're not gay. Although, I wouldn't put it past her to find a way. Hey, that's not fair. Oh, come on, Cerise. I know you and your mom have some sort of meta-neutrality about each other, but you're lying to yourself if you don't think for one moment she wouldn't prefer you knocked up and straight over happy and gay. That wasn't true, but truth didn't seem the point to this discussion. Well, we could offer to throw a big white wedding. That would keep her busy for a while. Cerise poked Barb playfully in the ribs, but she didn't smile. Look, you're right. She's never going to love the fact that I didn't grow up to be the girl she envisioned me to be. But this is a lot for anyone to come to terms with, and she was forced to do it in front of 200 people. All I'm saying is, I can cut her some slack while she processes. Fine, but at least respect that I see it differently. And I say she's so mad she's about to bubble over. Like a little teapot, short and stout. There she went again, trying to lighten the mood. Like Glenn Close boiling the pet rabbit. Barb finally turned to look at her. Like, don't be surprised if she shows up at our house and wants you to try on a new pair of Mary Janes she just bought for you at the Buster Brown store. Well, make up your mind. Is she furious or is she crazy? I haven't shopped at Buster Brown since I was 6. Exactly. When you were still perfect and adorable and presumably straight. The thought struck her like she'd hit a funny bone, made her focus wobble. Did you know? She sucked in a breath, as if shocking her brain with oxygen would help her sort it out. Barb turned to her again. Did I know what? The picture in her locket. The one she's always kept there. It's my kindergarten picture. From school. From when I was 6. Neither of them said another word until they pulled into the church parking lot. The fellowship hall was full to overflowing by the time they arrived. Cerise craned her neck, looking for Mrs. Endries, but the room was thick with people. Well, what do you think? Find someone and ask what we can do to help? Barb shrugged. Cerise realized she was going to have to accept the fact that this was her clown car and Barb was just along for the ride. All right, well, let me... The feel of her cell phone vibrating in her pocket interrupted her thoughts. The caller ID flashed her mother's number. Hi, Mom. How many people are there? Well, the room is certainly full. That's not what I asked, Cerise. Isn't anyone keeping a tally at the door? Not on the way in, at least. Cerise turned to look back at where they'd just come from. I think they must be keeping accounts some other way. Her mother huffed so hard, Cerise imagined she could feel the rush of breath on her ear through the line. I must have told Eldris 100 times, you have to track the numbers on the way in and on the way out. It's basic. I think I see Mrs. Endries, Mom. I have to go. She hung up before giving her the chance to respond. Hi, Mrs. Endries. Looks like it's a great turnout. How can we help? Oh, I'm in a state, Cerise. Your mother always has everything so under control. She bobbled her head and closed her eyes, formulating her next thought. Cerise and Barb waited and watched. Finally, after several seconds without an answer, Cerise chimed in. How about we stand at the door and keep account of the people coming in? We can welcome them, tell them how the room is laid out. Mrs. Endries's face brightened with delight, then fell just as quickly. Oh, dear. Your mother must have reminded me 1,000,000 times. She continued babbling and sputtering about to-do lists and traditions and G.I. Joe, none of which seemed pertinent to their role as greeters, since everything they needed to know about that job could be learned in a single visit to Walmart. Cerise turned and pointed Barb in the direction of the entrance. It really was a great tradition, the Christmas fair. Tables were lined with wonderful donations, board games and stuffed animals and blankets. Cerise watched as a young girl, probably...